my God, how can we top that? That's it. We are going home now.
We're going home.
Game over.
That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. I loved every minute of that. Everyone else did. You had our undying attention. I couldn't look away from it.
We laughed, we cried.
It was so honest. And I know we can relate to it on so many levels. Yeah. Heart
And if
goes
we
out to
can,
them.
hundreds of you out there can.
Wow. I am.
You did it, girl.
Yeah, respect. Right. On that note, before I cry.
But we have work to do.
This was up for grabs. Some milk paint general finishes and some mineral paint Annabelle Duke. And a few more bits from General
Nice
Finishes.
little
Thank you very
package.
much for the donation. And the winner of this hour's lot is, back to front, sorry, Karen Smith.
Well done, Karen.
Well done, Karen. So if you'd like to
Fantastic.
message me, I'll get it off to you as soon as we can. As if from nowhere, Alice appeared in Wonderland through the rabbit hole.
Come on, Alice. Give it your best shot.
Of course. And up next is Nikki Cash at Done Up North in Leeds. She stocks Fusion. I'm doing great.
And she's
You are doing
using
great.
Fusion. She's
Yeah.
doing great.
You're
We've
doing a
got
super job.
two stunning colours, if you can hold them up, because they are really lovely.
Ooh.
They will go very nice together.
Look at those. Oh my.
And then from the very lovely IOD, we have a Sequin.
Love Sequin. You've used it a lot.
I've
haven't you?
used the Sequin.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. That's a transfer, which Ziggy used earlier. You saw her demonstrating. And from Studio Stencils, a stencil. Funnily enough. They don't
Does
do
what
much
it says
else.
on the tin.
Well, we're getting into the time of night where everyone's starting to open up a bit. I think we feel like we've all been old friends. We're telling each other our stories, and as
And being so supportive.
and so supportive of each other, which is what this is all about. People getting together, people
incredible.
talking about things, people understanding that things like anxiety and depression don't necessarily consume us to the point of being bedridden and going out, but they're there in the background and they're going on for lots of people all the time who are trying to function and trying to present themselves to the world. It's exhausting.
It is.
I think when Nikki
Yes.
said that, it's exhausting.
That hits the nail on the head.
Being
Trying
anxious,
to be
being depression, being depressed.
outwardly a normal, cheerful, happy individual, and we are. We're still that.
And I
But-
read that comment that somebody said, and I just read it out to Manda as it was going on, about the GP actually offering, do you want me to write back pain on your sick note rather than that you're stressed and depressed? My God.
Why
Makes
do
me
we need to
so
do that?
angry. Makes me so angry. Wow. Well, on that note, we've got 3 more hours to go, people.
We're
Stick with
still
us.
here.
We're still here.
We're still
awake,
standing.
barely. Poor Georgia, she's going to be on the sofa very soon.
And the panda.
So over to Nikki Cash. I know she's going to be brilliant.
Yes. Looking
Please-
forward to
Yeah,
this.
looking forward to the next one. We're sitting back now. We're chilled. The shop's shut. No more customers. We're completely concentrating on what we're doing here.
Yeah,
so
so we
great,
can follow
great.
everybody.
Keep up with it. See you soon.
You're amazing.
Are we on? Are we live? Hopefully. Hi, this is Nikki from Done Up North. I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. I have quite low ceiling lights in my workshop, stroke garage. So I'm just going to make sure that we're... Apparently I am on. Okay, hi Samantha. Yeah, I just have to make sure I'm not glaring too much, so I look like I've got just a completely white face. Hi, Mary. Yeah, as I said, the lights are quite low in here, so I might be a bit whited out, but I'll pull the camera forward when I'm doing stuff. Hi, Paula. Hi. How do I follow that? Amazing hour from Vicky there. So yes, I'm ready to kick off my hour here. It's been an amazing day, and I've kind of felt quite smug for doing 9 till 10 p.m. and now I'm thinking I'm actually more nervous as a result. So I've got Ashley here, my other half, off camera, who's going to be helping me and reading out your messages, and also reminding me to prompt you to donate and to share. Thank you, Claire. Yeah, so basically if you could share this live with your friends, then more people will see, more people will donate to the great cause, Mind Charity. Yeah, so I've got, I don't think you can actually see it, so I'm going to bring it a bit closer. We'll do it at the beginning and I'll try and remember to do it, but this is the text number. Let's get the light off it. So to donate by text, 70070, and if you type CMUL55 and then your amount. So all you need to type is the amount.
It's backwards.
Oh!
If it's upside down.
No, it should be the other way around when it's broadcasting.
It isn't.
Oh, let me see if I can change that. Okay, I did have it on mirror so that I could show you that. So I'll just say it's CMUL55, all the best laid plans and all that. CMUL, so it's Creative Minds Unite, and I presume that's live, CMUL55, and then your amount. That's all you need to put in text message. Or you can go to Just Giving. And a really easy way to do it is to type in Creative Minds Unite in the search box, or Creative-Minds Unite, and it's back to front again. So let's not do that. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is I've got a piece here that I started prepping the other night that I'm going to be painting and then starting on a masking tape design. So I'll probably get onto the masking tape design, so I'll try and do it in 2 halves. I don't actually know how long it's going to take. And how much I'll fit in. So I'll do some of the painting first and then come on to the masking tape design, hopefully in the last half an hour.
Jeanette from Kent said hello.
Hello, hi Jeanette. Oh, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to seeing this. Thank you, Sarah. No pressure at all. Okay, so this is my piece, and this is actually coming to Grand Designs Live with me on Saturday with the Upcycled Hour Up Collective. We've got presentations on both days of the weekend. So Saturday we're on at 2 PM, and then there's another group of the Up Collective on Sunday. So I'm going to be taking this guy with me and finishing him off, but what I start tonight, yeah, I'll finish off at the weekend. And the great thing about this little chap is that it's actually on wheels, so we're hoping it'll be easy to wheel into Grand Designs Live. And I know Claire early on was giving away tickets. So I'll do it now because I'm sure I'll forget half of what I've got in my head to say. I've got tickets as well, which I'm doing a giveaway on Instagram, but if you type donate into the comments here, I will add you into the draw for those tickets, which you can use over the weekend,
Someone said hello from Canada.
Hello from Canada, the home of fusion. So hi. Okay, so I better get cracking, doing some actual painting. Hi Shelley. Hi Ewa. Hi Nicola, you see you won a prize earlier on. Thank you. Yeah, if you could share around as widely as possible, and then obviously we get more people donating.
Sue says hello.
Yeah.
Chirpy.
Okay.
Chirpy.
Chirpy, that might be Joe. Okay, right, so this little Art Deco cabinet, I'm turning it into a drinks cabinet basically. So this would have been a linen cupboard originally, if I can get it open because I've taken the handles off. So there was a shelf in there, you'd have folded all your linens up. And as you can see from the bottom, quite dark stain, which I've actually stripped off on the doors. So this is where I'll be putting the design later on. But what I firstly want to do is I'm actually going to paint the top and I'm going to paint the sides. This is a sort of style of cabinet that I've been doing lately, which is so I'm going to use Fusion mineral paint in ash, like a dark grey, to paint the side.
Someone said hello from South Africa.
From South Africa. Hello. Hi Fiona. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you my techniques for getting a really good brushstroke free finish. And I think once you've got this technique, you'll be away with doing sort of really big flat surfaces. It's my go-to. I find it easier than actually getting like a spray gun actually. And then we'll get into the detail of that afterwards. So I've actually prepped this first. What have I done? I've used Fusion's TSP, or Fusion's version of TSP, because it's got no actual phosphates in. So it's trisodium phosphate in the US, but actually we can't get that over here because of the chemicals that are in it. But this is a biodegradable version of it, so it's much more friendly to the environment. And phosphates, obviously, they're things that go into the rivers and kill fishes and so on. So this is actually biodegradable and environmentally friendly. And the great thing about it is you don't have to rinse. So you can use things like sugar soap as an alternative, but I actually really, really rate this instead of sugar soap. So I use, let's just get here, so I put it in a spray, so dilute it. So it's, I put a capful into a bottle that size, so it's 2 capfuls per litre. So I just squirt it on, get, bear with me a second, and get like a little scrubby, clean it down, rinse that out, get the manky water out, to get all of the grease off the top of this. So years of usage will have built up oils and grease on the top and furniture polish. So I need to get all those off before I start to put any paint on, because they'll basically act as a barrier. So this is true for any painting I'm going to do with any product really, is to get the old surface clean before you start. Because if you start to sand first, you're actually going to push those oils and reactivate them and push them further into the wood. So that could still cause you problems even if you've sanded. So cleaning, really, really important. First thing first is cleaning. Not very nice, but it's really rewarding when you see all that mucky water coming off. And then because I'm painting the top and the sides, I've actually not taken it back to the bare wood like I have on the doors. So I've actually just used, now I use 180, it's my preference. It's a fine sandpaper, my sanding block. And just basically want to, we call it deglossing. So I just want to get all the...
Hello from Germany.
From Germany. Hi Liz. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so I have to... Guten Tag. Yes. So yeah, while I remembered not to get into my spiel and disappear off down the rabbit hole, is also to remind you to share the live around with your friends if you can, so that more and more people can hopefully donate to our cause tonight for the fundraising that we're doing for Mind. So you can, we'll share the links. I'm sure some of the gang have shared them already in the comments, but we'll make sure those are shared for. There's a Just Giving page, and you can donate via text message as well. The number is 70070. 70070. I wish that wasn't back to front.
Yeah.
I'll try and work that out. Maybe we can get a bit of a close up on it. Yeah, so I'm just going to basically sand this in the direction of the grain to get it sort of down to a dull finish. So you don't need to take it right back to the wood actually, you just need to break into that surface. So the same with if it was a painted surface, whereas it's just varnish. You could get basically...
Wow, someone from Texas.
Texas, hi!
Hello, Star State.
So yeah, so that's all I did. And then actually I went over it again with the TSP and the spray, because I quite like the way that really cleans out the surface ready to paint. And then I've also done a bit of filling here, so that's ready to go. And what I've done, it's a bit curious, the fact it's in 2 halves, is just so that on Saturday at Grand Designs Live, you get a bit of before and after. So that's why I've actually taken these doors back down to the wood using a paint stripper. So for anybody who fancies doing a bit of stripping, careful now.
No, I can't. Don't look at me.
I use the Wilko's paint stripper, which is really cheap. It's £3. For anybody who's not in the UK, I bet you've got probably even better products, but this is great. It's better than some of the expensive brands. It's not smelly and not too noxious to work with. And as you can see, it's done a beautiful job of taking that right back to the wood. So it's not a very nice job, but it's quite rewarding once it's done. Hello. Oh, hi from Norway. Hello.
Another one from Canada, one from Plymouth.
Oh. So let's crack on. Let's do some painting. So I'm going to be using Fusion mineral paint in ash for the top and the sides. Yes, Ash is saying hi over there. I love working with this paint because I particularly like to work with a really smooth finish. That's my style. I like mid-century modern furniture, so I want it to be quite clean and crisp. And Fusion does the job for me. So I've tried other paints, sort of off the shelf sort of products, and once I started using that was it. I was kind of sold. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I've got to paint some of the trim here, so I'll do that by hand, but the rest I'll actually do with a mini roller, a mini microfiber roller. So I'll just get the bits from over here. Tell me what's going on.
No, a lot of people saying hello. You've got 66 watches.
So in my hour, there is a prize donated by Fusion, by Myra and Greg from Fusion UK. They've donated, let's not do that because it's probably quite noisy, Inglenook and Plaster, I think are the colours. So two big pots of Fusion and an IOD transfer and a really cool stencil as well. So they're up for grabs this hour. You can win those by commenting on this live. And at the end of the hour, Paula and Manda will draw the winners. So get commenting, folks, if you want to win. So what I'm doing is I'm using a little paint tray, roller paint tray, and I'm just lining it with tin foil, which I do to make it a bit easier to clean up. So I just chuck away the foil once I'm finished. I've got a little microfiber roller here, so it's just a very short pile. That's what I need.
Kate says hello.
Who says hello? Hi, Kate. I bet you're glad yours is finished now, aren't you? Hi. Okay, so the other thing that I need, just remembering where I'm going, I'm trying to think on my feet, is this is what I use when I'm working on flat surfaces, big flat surfaces. No, I'm the same, Angie. It is fabulous. Is a laying off brush. So this is by Hamilton, and picked it up for about £4 on eBay. I found it a bit cheaper than.
Elaine likes your tip about the trays.
Oh yes.
You're buying the liners.
You're buying the liners. Yeah, the foil's good. And then what I do is I put foil over the top while the paint's still wet inside, and I wrap my brushes with the rollers with the foil, and then I can do the other coats without having to wash it all out as well. So yeah. Definitely recommend the foil. I think Kate uses the foil as well. Oh, you're on the gin now, Kate, are you? Very good. Okay, so this is a laying off brush, and the idea of this is it's quite slim, and
another person from Texas.
Wow, you just finished a small cabinet, Mary. Fantastic. You have to share that with me. This is actually used dry to brush over the top afterwards to even out the dimples from the roller, because this will leave a little bit of texture, so this will help us get a nice smooth finish afterwards. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if I need to get a bit closer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, someone says that you use cling film, not foil.
Cling film. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. I did try cling film and wrapping my brushes in cling film as well, but I get in a bit of a mess with it. I find it sticks to itself, and then I get even more paint on myself than I generally do the rest of the time. I am really, really messy, so tinfoil. I tried also the same, I think Kate was saying earlier about the Fusion pots, because it's such a tough durable paint, they do seal themselves closed quite toughly, so you have to use like a hammer to break them open, and some people put cling film in there, and I get into a mess with that as well. So I'm just going to pour some of that into my tray, and I would actually just hang on, just going to wipe that off the rim, because I might be messy, but I'm not wasteful. Okay, so I'm just going to close that up. So this is ash, this is the dark grey.
Nick Clark says, why don't you use a foam roller instead of a fibre one?
It's a good question, and actually I've spoken to a couple of people, sorry I've disappeared off camera, I've spoken to a couple of people just recently about this too. You can certainly try it, but I found that you get bubbles and you get more texture. But you know, I wouldn't say there was absolutely a hard and fast rule about everything. You know, different folks, different strokes. So definitely give it a try. But I think the microfiber roller gives me less texture, and it doesn't slip or slide when you're using it as well, because they're generally used for maybe an oil-based paint or a gloss, which has got a bit more stickiness about it, instead of a slick water-based paint like Fusion.
Angie says she runs the lids under the hot water.
Yeah, that is our go-to if Ashley can't open it, which is usually I try hammer, I can't open it, and then you try and open it, and then when we give up, then it's the hot water. Yeah, but it's a bit of a pain when you've got lots of different colours and you've got to run into the kitchen or the bathroom to do hot water. So
91 watches.
So right, painting the tray. I'm just going to load it up by sort of touching it into the paint but pulling it back. I hope everybody can see okay.
Yeah,
Shout up if not.
Yeah.
And here as well. So I'm just loading it up but not putting too much on, hopefully. Obviously it's a completely fresh roller, so I need to make sure it's covered. And so I'm just going to, I just need some paper towel. So I use this to keep my brush, oh hello, there you go. I use this to keep my brush nice and fluffy, because I don't want it to be clogged with paint. If it gets clogged with paint, it's going to leave marks when I pull it over afterwards. Get my words out right. Okay, so let's just keep him to one side. So laying off brush is something like actual painter and decorator would use to get rid of the. Let's try and get back on camera. There we go. I'm just going to pull this stool forward because obviously that little tray is going to be in the way in a minute, isn't it? So there we go. So I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a bit more on actually. Talking and doing at the same time. Okay, so I'm just going to put. So I should be able to put quite a bit on before I use the brush to go over it. If you're doing it in a very warm place, particularly central heating, we're in my workshop. If it's warm, you might find it starts to dry a bit quicker and you might have to go through it with the brush sooner. So I just do something like that. And then I'm going to get the brush a 45-degree angle and just pull it over the top to flatten. Just maybe missed a little bit there. Right through, which then smooths the any texture, and then I just give the brush a bit of a rub afterwards so it fluffs up. Whoops, fluffs up the fibres. Can you give me some feedback? People saying things?
Yeah, just people using cling film.
You've gone very quiet on me.
Someone's asked you to start painting, which you have done.
Get on with it, Nikki. Is that what people are saying?
In nicer words.
Who was that?
That's Maria. Maria said, "Start painting,
Start painting.
please.
Start painting, please. We don't want to listen to you just waffle."
Yes.
Well, I hope you're all sharing this around so that more people can see it and donate to Mind.
93 watches.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put some. Yeah, so I'm just going to put some more on. Okay, and then
Michelle's asked, can you please go over what you're using? I had my blender on.
Oh, your blender on.
For margaritas, probably.
Oh, but margaritas, how nice. So I'm using a microfiber roller to apply the paint, and then what's called a laying off brush. I'm not quite sure what it's called in. Oh, hi Michelle. Sorry, I was going to say in other countries. Obviously, you're here in the UK. So this is a laying off brush, which, but, huh? Have I missed a bit?
Yeah,
oh, thank you. See, that's why doing demos and talking at the same time. Yeah, so just do that. You don't want to go back over Fusion too quickly because it starts to set up a bit. So I just want to wait for the next
nice
coat.
colour, great tips.
Ooh, I've got great tips. That's very kind. So I'm just going to put the rest on, and I'll probably do 3 coats of this really thinly and build it up. And I don't know if it'll actually dry tonight while we're doing it, but I do a little sand in between with an acrylic sanding pad just to take down any texture. But actually this technique's so smooth. So I'm just going to do that again, 45-degree angle with the laying off brush just to smooth the texture out. So hopefully you can see how nice and smooth that
108 watches, broken the
the wheels are getting stuck on the laminate floor. So,
Justina saying hi from the Big Apple.
Hello to New York. How lovely. Bring them on camera. Oh no, sorry, I thought somebody'd written that. That's a message from Facebook. What time are we at? I don't want to not do masking tape. 20 past. Okay.
Do you want me to give you a shout at a certain time?
Yeah, because what I want to make sure to do is do some masking tape. It would be a bit remiss of me if I didn't, seeing as Kate's particularly already trailed the fact that I am.
Nicholas said I bought one of the laying off brushes after watching your videos, yellow sideboard.
Did you? And I hope you've liked choosing it. Yeah. It's just you have to keep it sort of try and get the paint off it.
Michelle asked how many.
And then you have to wash it after you've done probably a coat on the whole thing and make
Michelle
sure I washed it and dry it again.
how many coats will you need?
I'll do 3 on here. You might be. I mean, you can see the coverage is brilliant. That is actually okay with 1. But obviously, if I'm going to be selling something, I want to make sure that it's really, really tough. So the first coat almost self primes into the sort of the wood where I've sort of primed it with the sanding, and then the second coat will set up like a top coat. So you could, for home, do 2 coats.
Kirsty from the Scottish Borders asked what's paint, milk or chalk.
What else but masking tape? Yes, thank you. See, Kate's already trailed the fact that I'm going to be doing masking tape. Yeah.
So Kirsty from a couple of messages before from the Scottish Borders asked what kind of paint it was.
Oh, Kirsty, it is Fusion mineral paint. So it's this is ash, which is the dark grey in the range. It's a water-based paint. And it's got very low VOCs, which means it's pretty much non-toxic. I've got paint all over me now. And it's basically got a top coat built in, so I don't need to do anything like wax or anything at the end. And it's very durable and hard wearing as well. So it's a lovely paint to work with though, because it's really nice and smooth and easy to use. So what I need to do next is, so I do the edges.
Jane's curious about the masking tape.
Curious. Are we building up to the masking tape moments? No pressure at all, huh? Dear. Right, okay. So I'm just going to do a little bit
South
of
Wales, Melanie is watching.
Hi Melanie. Yeah, so I just need to remind you all to please share the live with your friends so that they can help raise awareness and raise money with us for Mind, as it's World Mental Health Day, which I always find quite difficult to say. It's just to remember that's why we're here, and that's why Paula's arranged this wonderful painting marathon. So if you can share it around, and every comment that you make enters you into the draw. Well, UK people, I think, I presume, enters you into the draw to win some Fusion goodies. So I use, for trim and legs, I use these artist brushes. These obviously a little bit well used, but these are 1 inch flat artist brushes. So for watercolour, and I actually get mine in a...
Crystal says, are you using soapstone?
Soapstone, no Crystal, I'm using ash actually. It might be the light because it's quite bright in here, because I've literally got a strip light right above my head, so it probably makes it look a bit lighter.
Sideboard videos.
Oh, did you? Thank you. That was a real learning curve, that. So I use that to, I come on the other side actually, because I usually start at one end and try and do it really smoothly, smooth it on, and make sure my brush strokes are going with the grain, and that I don't have any sort of lines where I've sort of stopped. So I'll just sort of go over the top of it lightly when I've applied it all the way, just so I get a nice smooth finish. But as I said, this is just the first coat, so sometimes it might be a bit see-through. The greys in the, oh, I've disappeared off camera, sorry. The greys in the Fusion range, I mean the coverage is immense actually. It just goes on almost completely opaque with one coat.
How much is the paint and how big are the bottles? These
are 500ml. And generally, I will get a couple of pieces out of one of these because it goes on and it goes so far. So I sort of think of it as like 2 chest of drawers, a pot of this. My yellow sideboard that I did recently, yeah, I had like three quarters of a pot left after that. So it does quite. I wouldn't normally, by the way, paint it with the doors in. I've left the doors in to show you my. Well done, thank you, Kate. And we've got some Fusion goodies up to be won for this hour. So if you'll be entered from your comment there. I think remember the colours. Plaster and Inglenook, and also some transfer and stencil goodies are in the package too.
What's the
drying time?
Drying time.
So drying time, you can recoat within 20 to 30 minutes, but say 30 minutes to an hour, you can recoat. It's touch dry within 20 to 30 minutes. Its curing time is going to be more like 2 to 3 weeks before it's fully hard, but you just need to be a little bit careful with your piece of furniture in the meantime. But you can you can recoat really quickly, which is brilliant when I'm doing my designs, because I can actually get them moving a lot more quickly than if I have to wait overnight in between separate things. So normally I wouldn't have the doors on like this. It means I have to be a little bit more careful. But when I'm doing a design, even though I've taken the doors off to strip the doors, and put them back on so that they line up when I do the pattern. Otherwise, I've learned the hard way, if you do them on the floor or on a countertop or whatever, and you think it's lined up and then you hang them and they align differently, it's not good, is it really? So that's my tip for legs and edgings. They're brilliant for doing curvy legs as well, these brushes. Okay, what time are we at now?
20, just after 25 past 9.
25 past.
Time's ticking along.
I love ash as well, Shelley. I've seen it used a lot lately. I think it's an absolute firm favourite amongst us all. It's just a bit of a go-to. It's just a bit softer than coal black, isn't it?
Can you use Fusion mineral paint on the front door? Would it require additional sealer coat?
You can use it on a front door just as it is. It's great for exteriors. We've got it outside on our patio furniture at the moment, actually, and it's got no sealer on top. I mean, I probably might, actually, just for the additional sort of wear and tear of coming and going and sort of banging the door with your bags and your feet and the locks and everything. I might put the tough coat over the top just for some extra protection. But it is actually pretty resilient by itself. Okay, so yeah, I'll do this bit as well. And like I said, I'd probably put, you can see it's great coverage from one coat. but I'll put at least another coat on as well. So, tell me more, what's going on? What's going on?
That was the last question.
Okay.
75 viewers.
Okay, so I'm just painting the trim. I know everybody just wants me to do the masking tape, don't they? They're like, shut up, stop painting and do some masking tape.
Yes. The big draw.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Masking, is it masking tape time? Let's see what somebody says. Can you use fusion? Yeah. Hello! big love to Ash.
Well,
yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to do the rest of this trim and then we'll do some masking tape. I was going to, because I'm going to do the interior of this, I've disappeared off camera again. I'm going to do the interior of this with the bronze metallic to match the design, and I'm going to sort of mix that with a bit of glaze to make it easier to paint at the backdrop, but it looks like everybody would like me to do masking tape. Masking tape! Yeah, you should definitely try it, Georgia, definitely. I blame Kate, who's in the comments also entirely, because as soon as I tried it there wasn't no going back really, so, and now I'm stocking it, so yeah, it's all Kate's fault. Okay, so, okay.
Yes, Wendy says yes, masking tape
Masking
time.
tape, masking, okay, masking tape time. Hi Rachel. Okay, don't forget to share the live around. Now, I need to work out a way of telling you how to donate, because I've dropped a clanger with the signs, which are back to front. So I'll try and read them out, because I'm sure your brains can fathom it the other way around. Let's just do that before I start. I thought I was being clever, and I was trying to put it on the mirror version, so this is back to front. So it's 70070 if you want to text. So you text that number, you text CMUL 55 followed by the amount. So your message just has to have CMUL 55 followed by the amount, and you can also gift aid that as well. Haha, Kate. Well, you do. It's all your fault. Okay. And the other way you can donate is go to justgiving.com. Justgiving.com. And if you type in Creative Minds Unite, no, this is all back to front, I'm sorry. Or you can do Creative-Minds Unite after justgiving.com/fundraising.
Nettie says, just joined in. Fusion, no seal. What colour is this, please? Black.
Hi from Wales. Yes. Hi, Nettie. So this is ash, actually. So it's a dark grey. So it's in some lights it probably looks almost black, but it is a dark grey. So no top coat needed. It's 100% acrylic resin, so it actually seals itself, so it doesn't need anything else on top. You can put something else on for getting a different finish, like satin, or like black wax, or like sparkle or whatever. But you don't need it. You don't need it. Okay, no pressure. Right. Okay. Let's do some masking tape. So, what I'm thinking, I might bring you a bit closer down to my level so you can see what I'm doing a bit more. So I'm going to do a design on the front of here. I'm not going to finish it though. I have to say there's not going to be a masking tape reveal, because this piece is headed for the stage at Grand Designs Live on Saturday, and so I want to finish the design there. Yay! Is that yay that I'm getting started? Yeah, I blame Samantha, I blame Kate for our love of fusion as well. So I wanted to work with these lines here. I've done patterns before that are like diamonds and chevrons, but I thought it
Nettie says thank you, Fab.
No, very welcome, Nettie. So yes, I wanted to put some linear design in. So I've just been doing, this is basically just giving you a bit of insight that I actually do sketch these flipping things out. So there's a bit of a sketch there into what my pattern is going to be, and it involves lots and lots of tape going down and then cutting some of it away. So let's do it.
Tell them about the tape.
Tell her about the tape.
Tell them what tape you use.
I feel like I'm started a cult here or something. Some kind of masking tape fetish. So this is the tape that I use in large amounts. I have boxes like this everywhere. In fact, I use them to put the handles and all the nuts and bolts from every piece in. So it's like a library of frog tape boxes. They've got to come in useful for something, because I've got so many. You can get this from most DIY shops. This is the frog tape delicate, so it's yellow. The green one is the regular one, but I would advocate using this one first and foremost. I'm going over naked wood, bare wood, naked.
Naked.
Barely naked wood, which I've stripped back. So that's why it's much lighter than the wood below, which is got a stain on it. It's actually not that dark a wood, but it's been stained dark. So yeah, frog tape delicate, especially with a wood like this, because its fibres can get pulled up by stronger tapes. So, not seen this before. Angie, you're ladling the pressure on now. So I'm going to, so I trust this the most. I know other people use other tapes. I've tried lots of different tapes, but this is the only one that you want to see how I start the design process. Usually a lot of head scratching, Priscilla, to be fair, and how do I cut it so straight when you're doing thin lines? Well, you do actually let the tape do a lot of the talking, to be honest, the edges of the tape. Some of the designs I've done, I've actually cut the tape on a cutting mat with a ruler to get thinner tape. You can buy thinner tapes, but I've not found anything quite as reliable. So the day they make this in a thinner version, it'll be great. So, I wonder if I bring you down a bit closer. Shall I bring it down a bit closer, do you think?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and bring you a bit closer. And now wishing... How's this going to work? That'll be with my shoes. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
How does that work?
A little bit. There you go.
No,
that's fine.
I didn't move it.
No, it's on a delay. There you go.
Oh, right. Oh, no, okay.
No, you want to...
Here we go.
There we are.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
so I said I'm going to do something linear. So the idea is I'm going to mask out. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different here than actually masking out a design with tape sort of laid out in a pattern. I'm actually going to put tape all over it and then make the pattern. So this is a bit different.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pull off sections as I go rather than having the tape dangling around the bottom and sticking to itself. So I'll pull off my sections and hope that they're long enough. And no, good start. So not the best of starts. So I'm just going to get some tape. And so I think, just trying to work out where I'm going with it. So I'm just going to try and incorporate these into the design here. This is like flying by the seat of your pants masking tape designs. Let me just, so I'm just going to lay the tape centrally down the middle of this. It's a little difficult because I'm sideways on and I don't want to put my head in front of it. So you'll have to forgive me if it's not perfect. But no, that isn't. So I'm going to put my head slightly in front of it just to get the line. And I am doing that by eye actually. Okay. So I think it's quite important to put anything you're doing like this back in place so you get the alignment properly. And in this case, not even just a couple of screws to get the hinges back in. I actually had to put all the screws back in because they weren't hanging straight. And what you don't want is to do your design and then put it back together and it doesn't line up. So I'm just going to do one side here, and I'll show you. So bear with me. Ashley, tell me if there's anybody saying or doing anything. I hope people are sharing.
Kirsty says she'll try the delicate tape.
Lovely, yeah. I highly recommend it. I think there's an offer on it B&Q at the moment because it isn't. I may have to cut that there just to get that flat to the thing.
Other outlets are available.
Yeah, but I think it's $4.99 at B&Q at the moment, or one of our furniture lot was sharing. I'm just going to. So I'll have to come back and make sure this is well rubbed down, but I'm just plotting out my design for now and making sure the tapes butt up to each other very closely. So unfortunately it's a little bit bubbly over that. Oh. Okay, so
That's going to be long enough, aren't
I don't know, we'll find out when it gets nearer. But no, it is hard to talk and do at the same time. After he said, not one of my fortes. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up. I'm lining it up at the top, and then because the tape's got a propensity to bend a little bit, I'll just angle it and touch it.
Sam says hi,
you're
live on at Ivy, and
there we go.
You're going viral.
I'm going viral? Oh dear. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for putting us on Ivy and Ted. That's really kind of you. I hope it's helping the...
Kaylee says, what kind of finish do you get with fusion paint? Is it matte or shiny?
It's matte, although there is a nice little sort of a little sheen. It sort of catches the light. I don't know if you can see it up here, but it does catch the light a little bit. It's not flat matte, which I like. 'Cause it's, you know, it's subtle, but it's not sort of, because flat matte just going to look a bit too dead, I think. So I'm just trying to keep those close together.
Linda says
You can pull it off a few times, but obviously with naked wood, you don't want to keep putting it back on too many times because you're going to get lumps in it. I need to go a bit faster here, don't I, guys?
Linda says hello from the South Yorkshire Riviera of Doncaster.
Hello, Donny. Yeah, right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this all on quick enough. I often end up
20 minutes.
I often end up doing speed up cycling. What's that all about? Because actually, I spend so long doing my pieces that it's a bit of a. I've actually gone off the top a bit there. I'm trying to line them up really well quickly.
Kaylee says, "Thank you. Just what I'm after."
What's that? What are you after, Kaylee? You're doing the masking tape?
She was just asking about the paint.
Oh yeah, no, it's I highly recommend it. You know, for most colours, 2 coats, it'll dry, and it's really durable. And within 3 weeks, it's, you know, it's going to be really tough and water resistant as well. Like, we've been using it for all sorts of things now. Like I said, we've got it on our garden furniture outside, on our teak furniture. So stick with me on this. It's not the most fascinating design to watch, I'm sure, because I've done things like, if I just turn you around a little bit, this is the... Oh, hi Ashley, sorry about that. There's one of my chevron pieces in the back. So this is what I'm aiming for, similar sort of thing, but this is a totally different design, this one. Hopefully it will be revealed very shortly if I get cracking. Just move you back a bit, there you go. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so this, I call it broken stripes, actually. And you'll see in a minute where it goes. Yeah, it's quite wasteful with tape, though, that's the only thing. But I really like this one because it's got a lot of impact. Doesn't look at it right now, but... And then we just need to get the bronze metallic out, because that's the fun bit. I might be able to get some of the tape off if I'm quick. I was so amazed by how many different demos people have fitted into their hour, and I seem to have flown through the time and not actually done that much, except talk a lot of rubbish. So, tell me what people are saying.
People says, I watched Home Revival use fusion on the leather of a chair. It looked amazing. That's interesting.
Who was that? Oh, that was Sarah. Yeah, because Sarah packed in so many different really cool demos as well. I was really amazed. And I wanted to bring my pumpkins in here. Well, I don't know if Sarah's out there, but I wanted to bring my pumpkins in just because Sarah was doing these amazing foil techniques.
Sorry.
Who's that? Sorry.
Lena's just donated.
Oh, Lena, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can't wait to see what the total is. Yeah, and we've got 2 more. 2 more after me. Right, nearly there. Sorry, it's not my most intricate of designs on the laying out section.
Lee's just said, I did my kitchen cupboards in fusion. It's amazing paint.
It is. Oh, some of the kitchen transformations. Guys, if you want to see some amazing transformations of kitchens, go to Paint It Beautiful on Facebook. Some of the jobs that people are doing of updating their cabinets rather than sort of getting rid of them, which I'm completely into as an upcycler. I'm just lifting this tape up and then sort of making sure it gets into that groove there so that the paint doesn't sneak underneath. And the key thing here is making sure that you rub it so that it goes completely opaque. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Linda's donated as well.
Oh, thank you, Linda. That's very kind of you. Okay, I'm also just scraping over the paint that I've just put on. But you need to really rub it hard. Really rub it hard with the pads of your fingers until it actually goes see-through, and then you'll see that it's actually stuck down. So if it looks quite opaque yellow still, I'm doing this really rushed in a way, but I'll have to sort those out. I'll probably end up cutting around that and then pushing it down. But let me just show you what I'm planning to do. Where's my ruler? Aha. So what I need now is a craft knife type thing, or I call them scalpels, which is quite a scary thing really, but really sharp. Make sure it's sharp. These have like replaceable blades. And they're quite cheap. I got everything on eBay, so... Oh, look at the state of me.
Painted
little babes like
fingers.
Yeah,
Also
I am.
washes off quite easy as well, Fusion.
It does, but I just seem to get it all over me at the drop of a hat. So that's why I have to make sure I have special painting clothes. And just a see-through ruler, which is particularly useful. I haven't got my close-up specs on, so that's going to be interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to turn it at an angle so that I don't get my head in the way of what I'm doing, but I can still see what I'm doing without making a mess of it. Because, as I said, this is coming to Grand Designs Live. And just a reminder, if anybody wants to win the tickets, I've got a giveaway going on Instagram for tickets. And if you put if you put that in the comments that you want to enter the Grand Designs competition, I will add you into the entries for that. It finishes at 11 AM tomorrow. I've got 3 tickets to give away to this Grand Designs Live this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Wait, tell them where it is.
It's Birmingham, sorry. It's at the NEC. So the Upcycled Hour Up Collective are doing a presentation on stage, so this guy is going to get the rest of the design work done. I'm just going to cut around the design here. This is quite difficult to do and talk at the same time. Maybe I should stop talking.
No.
So I'm just going to cut. I'm just going to cut around it so I can get this flat underneath. This is. I might. We'll see. We'll see which one this ends up being, because some of these bits of tape are coming off. So I'll probably mask that up again separately to make sure that I've got a clean. But I just want to get this flat to the door first of all. That's the key thing. Fiddly fiddly. Okay. Not the best of jobs because I'm doing it quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cross and then a cross here, and then I'm going to peel off alternate tapes, which will give me a rather nice kind of, just going to pull those up, rather nice.
Emma says hi, Frances says
little
she's shared.
teapot. So I'm just going to go up to the top corner. I could probably do with putting another piece on there, but for the sake of the demo. Oh, it's sticking. So I do need to make sure these are rubbed on well.
15-minute warning.
15-minute warning. Oh my god, I hope people are still sharing and donating, and hopefully...
Oh, you've got 104 watches.
Fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. I've got to make sure that I actually do something worth watching. Okay, so I'm just going to... My ruler's not quite long enough, so I'm just going to try and get my angle all the way up to the corner without making a mess of it. Probably could have done with a pencil here, actually. Have I got a pencil somewhere? Yeah. I'm just trying to get a line here, which will give me my... it's quite difficult to do it when you can't see what you're doing. So we just do a line like that. Oh, check the knife. Okay, I think that should do it. Where's that gone?
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go, surgeon.
Okay, so I'm going to cut the tape, but you cut it quite lightly. You should just be able to hear the sound of the tape being cut, and not press too hard. Oh, and this is why I need my good glasses, because I just went offline there. And then I'm going to try to pull the ruler down, but make sure my scoring mark is dead lined up, because I don't want a deviation in the tape.
No.
Oh, she said. That's why I should have my good glasses on.
Why don't you bring them?
I don't know where they are. So, and then I'm going to go down to the other corner as well. Where are we up to with time?
You've got 14 minutes.
Well, what I'll do, guys, because all of these tutorials are going to be still on our pages. So all the things that have gone on today, even if you haven't seen it live, you can watch. There's been so many great paint effects being demonstrated. I've learned loads because I'm masking tape and lots of other techniques I've got no idea about. So they'll be there to watch as well. And what I'll do is I'll post up a video showing this finished as well.
Justina says I will be purposely late to work to see this amazing tutorial.
Well, that's a late shift you're doing there.
Well, no, I think she was in America.
Oh, right. Well, that's very kind of you for sticking with us. So this little design, yeah, I suppose it takes a little while for it to get to its fruition, but you'll be able to see it even with the masking tape. You'll be able to see where I'm going with it, and hopefully it will make sense there. So I'm just doing that very lightly and not pressing too hard, and a really sharp blade. That's why it's so important, and not dragging too much. So hopefully those have reached. So just trying to decide. So I'm going to leave that one as wood. So I'm going to start pulling these off. Let's take a bit of the paint off. So, but leaving the centre one in place. So then I'll go alternate, and you'll get quite a nice little optical effect with this when it's finished.
Rachel shared the video.
I'm doing it right. Right, you know when you do that kind of trying to think at the same time as talking, I realised that I missed something. So I just need to go in here and remove that, and you'll start to see where I'm going with it now. There you go. So we'll get a nice optical effect going across the whole piece. I need to think and make sure I get the right pieces. Oh, I want that one. I think I've slightly overlapped the tapes there, that's why. Let's just make sure that one's coming off okay. Okay, and then I'll just clean up any little tiny edges like that after when I'm coming to it to paint it. And every one of these will get a really good rub before the paint goes on. What time are we at now?
It's coming up to 10 to.
10 to.
Yeah.
I've got to finish at 5 to. So what I'll do is I'll get some paint on and show you how I'll fill those bits in. So you get a can everybody see? Oh,
yeah, Lee says awesome.
There we go. There we go.
Erica says it looks great.
So I'll just put a little bit of paint on, guys, so you can see what I'm doing. And the good thing about this design, at least you don't have to wait for a reveal. You can kind of get the idea of where I'm going with it. So let's find a brush.
Frances is loving it.
So the idea is I'll do the bottom with another cross as well. So you get two effects going all the way up the top. So I'm going to use Fusion Mineral Paint in bronze, bronze metallic, and there's another one of these 1-inch artist brushes.
Georgie says, wow, great lesson.
Oh, I'm glad you think so, because you never know.
Shelley says it's going to be another stunner.
I hope so. So I'm just going to make sure these are rubbed down well. Normally, what I do is I take the doors off, and then I fold these bits of masking tape over the top, and I'd mask the edge off as well, and then paint. But for the benefit of now, I need to just get on with it. So I'm just going to be really careful, and I'll do it down the sides of the tape.
Home Revival says that is going to look amazing.
I hope so. I go down I've got to make sure the paint goes into the grain because it's the first coat on. So I'm just going to sort of dot it on a little bit and then smooth it afterwards. But I'm going to make sure that I go down the edges of the tape like this so that I don't get a build up. So I wouldn't go across because you can get like a ridge of paint. So I can
Justine
actually
says, oh my god, amazing. Will you use something to prevent paint from bleeding through tape?
I don't use anything, no. But I mean, ordinarily I'd have spent a lot more time, so you can't even see me. It's not a bad thing. I'd have spent a lot more time rubbing the tape down, and it should be fine. Particularly, it's my favourite, is to use the Fusion paint over naked wood. Let's stop saying naked.
Yeah, bare naked wood.
Naked. I need a glass of wine. Because it's so tough and durable, so in conjunction with the Fusion, with the frog tape and the natural wood, they all just come together brilliantly, and it makes a really good, crisp, clean edge each time. So I tend to fill each one in separately. You could go over the whole thing with a roller or a bigger brush if you wanted to, but I tend to go through each one.
Wow, nearly 120 watches.
Tend to go through each one sort of separately, paying it a bit of attention, making sure that it's smooth. Especially with metallics, you've got to go in one direction.
Lena says that is going to look amazing.
I hope
Look
so.
forward to seeing the end result.
What time we're at? Because I do have to remember to stop.
9:51.
Ooh, okay. Well, I can't really do a reveal, guys, but I promise you I will post up a reveal. We'll get a little video of of this one when it's finished. And yeah, so that's kind of how I do it. So I would do 2 coats of this because it's got really good coverage. This bronze metallic particularly.
Joe says you deserved your glass of wine.
Thank you. That's very kind. I might get some tea as well. Yes, I'm doing this a little bit quickly, but so you get the idea. It's quite a nice simple one. Obviously, it uses quite a bit of tape, but if you were really canny, you could just keep moving the tape about and reusing it. So, and then when I finish,
Michelle says, why do you have to go one way only with metallics?
because it has effectively got, I just kind of think of it as a bit like velvet or suede. It's got a bit of a grain, and so all the bits of mica that sort of catch the light. If you smooth it in the same direction, they all catch the light. If you start going the other way, you can actually see the brush strokes going the other way, so it sort of lies it down. A bit like, you know, when you mow a lawn and you get the grass going different colours. It's a bit like that. You can actually see it, so you have to do it all the same.
And you say to have 2 glasses.
One in each hand. I think I will. Yeah, so
well,
that's...
3 minutes left.
I've got 3 minutes. Yeah, so I hope that was useful. I'm definitely going to be doing some more of these little online tutorials, so keep posted. Show you some more of my masking tape designs. But
Emma
yeah,
says she's having a glass of wine for you, or even 2 or 3.
Thank you, Emma. That's very kind. When are you coming round with my glass?
Michelle says, good to know, thanks.
Oh, have I just pulled the wrong one off?
No.
I have just pulled the wrong one. That does happen when you're talking at the same time as doing things, that you would do that, and I've pulled the wrong one off.
Sharon says, long time no see, Nikki. You're still as ace as ever.
Ah. Oh, hi, Sharon. Hi, thank you. Oh, so nice for you to tune in as well. Right, so yeah, I think, do I need to wind up? The guys need me off air at 5
Sam says, great tip about painting metallics in one direction. You've got 2 minutes.
I
So
got 2 minutes.
you can probably tell them the links again.
Yeah,
On
so
donating.
if you want to donate to, it's all in aid of Mind for World Mental Health Day. If you go to Just Giving, the easiest way is to go to Just Giving and type in the search box Creative Minds Unite. And you'll find us, just scroll a little bit down and you'll find our page. Or you can, I'm going to do this back to front again just to, you know, carry on the stupidity. So it's, if you read this the other way around, or look in a mirror, 70070. I do totally feel like I'm on going live or something, or a telethon.
No.
And then it's CMUL 55. So you put this in your text message, CMUL 55, and then how much you want to donate. So that's the purple is what you have to put in your text message. Send it to 70070. And every donation and every comment will enter you into a draw. So shortly we'll be passing back to Paula at Fairy Chic Emporium. And she's going to draw the winner of the prize, the Fusion Mineral Paint prize, so the brand that I've been using during my hour. She's going to be drawing the prize with Manda to one of you lucky people who've been watching. So how are we doing for time?
You're about to finish.
I'm going to finish.
Emma says I'll post it on Instagram when it's finished.
Yes, I definitely will. I've got to finish it off now. I've started. Yeah, so I'll share it on my page.
People
and
are saying,
make sure.
well done.
Thank you. Who's on next?
Is it on your list up there?
Yeah, no. I wrote it down so that I'd remember. Now I can't remember. I think it's Fiona, but I can't remember what her. Oh God.
I don't know. You're gonna have to
Stay
go.
tuned. Either go to Fairy Chic Emporium, or stay tuned on this page, and you'll see them. They're going to do the draw, and they'll announce the next person. So stay with us because we've still got 2 more hours to go. So thanks everybody for joining in. And I'll see you back here on my page with the reveal of this at some point.
Everyone's saying, enjoy your wine.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
will. Mrs. Paint-A-Lot's on next. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Talking and doing things at the same time. Thanks, guys.
Alicia says, well done.
Thank you, Althea. Thanks a lot.
Althea.
Cheers, Justina. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully you can go and watch Miss Paint-A-Lot after this. Thanks, Georgia. Bye. Bye.